Hey there guys, welcome back to a brand new Flick live show. Thank you so much for joining me once again. And I wanted to give you guys a quick mention to something creepy, something dark, something sadistic that takes place in a weird dude's basement. And that's the black phone, which by the way, they sent me some cool goodies today. Wait, hang on. I hear the phone ringing. Hang on. Hello, who is it? Is this the grabber? Oh no, I don't want to extend my car's warranty. No, thank you. Yeah, they also sent me this telephone that you plug into your computer or your phone. It doesn't actually plug into an iPhone because Apple products are stupid and this doesn't work. But either way, I like having it and it makes me feel better. I have not held a telephone like this in 20 years. It feels weird. But anyway, the black phone is in theaters and on demand now. So thanks for sort of sponsoring this video in a weird way. And real quick, someone actually asked me about the black phone. I loved it. I actually really enjoyed it. Is it my favorite movie of the year? No, but it was a nice, smaller budgeted film that was, I wouldn't say it was terrifying, but it was a really good thriller. And anytime that a movie takes place in a weird dude's basement, Silence of the Lambs, for example, I'm sold. The only thing I didn't love about the black phone were some of the supernatural tones that I feel like weren't quite explained whatsoever. But other than that, I really did enjoy it. And Ethan Hawke, it was nice to see him actually playing a bad guy, so I really enjoyed it. All right, let's dive into your questions here. And the first one comes from DJ Crackmix 117. Hey, John. If they redid Twilight, what would you like to be done differently? And are you a hot what? And are you a hot guy? What's happening right now? I think Twilight was done as badly as it possibly could have been, and for that, I find it mildly entertaining. In the last, I think like 3 months ago was the first time I had ever watched the Twilight films. I skipped Breaking Dawn Part 1 because the person I watched it with said it was utterly pointless to watch it, but I watched all of them except for that, I believe. And they are comedy gold. I don't know why I waited 12 years to watch those abominations against humanity. Just pure garbage trash movies. Just the acting, the script, the filmmaking, just complete trash cinema. Transformers 3 is Michael Bay's best movie. What a statement. I think only you would say that. No, man, come on. It's going to be The Rock. I sort of have a guilty pleasure love for Armageddon. I think some people might say Bad Boys. I still think The Rock is Michael Bay's best movie he's ever made. And the first Transformers film was pretty good around the time it came out. I haven't watched it in a couple of years, though. John, I missed you. Well, I missed you, too. I did put out a Thor Love and Thunder review, so if you want to watch that, go over to the Flickpick channel. Check it out. I give you all my thoughts over there. It was about 10 minutes long. And also, I show you a really cool surround sound system in that video, which I think if you guys are in the market for one, go check it out. I'd recommend it. Team Bella for life. No, I'm Team Jacob. Just a dude that turns into a dog and running around. For some odd reason, I wanted to be Jacob. Or I could be Edward Cullen, but I'm not very good at baseball, and if I was, I wouldn't want to wait until a thunderstorm to play it. You think they'd just pick up a sport that didn't require such loud, thunderous sounds, right? Like, how loud could ping pong be? Or play Wii bowling? I don't know. All right, what else do we have here? This is the testosterone-free zone. No, it's not. Just watching this will make you more of a man. That's not true. I'm going to take a drink of this, though, real quick. And by the way, how are you guys doing? What are you guys doing? What are you up to tonight? It's midnight here in Indiana, but for me, the night is young. All right, we got a few super chats already popping up, so let me jump onto these. We got one here from Potato Buns. Hello, sexy man. Thank you for that. Go back and watch Ben Affleck's face as he fights in the accountant He would make an amazing Terminator if he were 15 years younger. Ben Affleck as a Terminator. Who would have ever thought not only that's a far-fetched idea, but then again, Ben Affleck was Batman, which is something I never thought would happen, but somehow it magically did happen back in 2013 when we got that announcement. I don't think Ben Affleck as a Terminator would be very good. I can't see him as the Terminator. I'm going to pass on that idea. But then again, I would rather watch Ben Affleck as the Terminator who wears a diaper and hits himself in the shins with bamboo sticks rather than that last abomination we got, Terminator Dark Fate Genesis, whatever the fuck it was, Dark Fate, that's what it was called. Hey, let's fight this chick who looks like Justin Bieber. That's the menacing threat of the movie. Okay. Your name here says, "Hi, John. Please do the taken phone scene with that phone." I don't remember how it goes. "Listen carefully. I will find you, and I will kill you." What's that? No, I don't want to extend my car's warranty. All right. Jesus Salcedo, or Jesus, I call you Jesus. You should really play Batman Arkham City. I have dabbled in those games here and there. I've watched a lot of gameplay videos of them. Something about jumping into a video game such as Batman Arkham City sounds overwhelming at this point in my life. And when it comes to playing video games, I play my Xbox One. And I play Rocket League. And I just started playing a new game called Fall Guys, which looks like it was made for 7-year-old children. But I just started playing it because it's easy, it's breezy, I can sit there. It doesn't require a lot of IQ or thought. And it's fun for 20 minutes. And then eventually, I start getting my ass kicked, and then I throw my controller, I scream like a little girl, and I run away. But that's usually what I've been playing. Something about diving into a campaign that takes 15 hours, I can't do it. I can't get started. I don't know how to start doing that. It sounds almost like an obligation. But maybe one day. Austin Rash says, "Spoiler for Mrs. Marvel. I don't care. Spoil whatever you want with that show. I will never watch it. So spoil away." Sorry, guys. I just don't care. I just don't care. I'm sure it's good. Some people have said they really enjoy it. There's just some things I'm not interested in, and that's one of them. But here we go. John, can you believe, and I guess this is a spoiler, so earmuffs if you have not watched it and you care. John, can you believe they chose the finale of Mrs. Marvel to introduce mutants into the MCU? Okay, yes, great question. Let's talk about that. I did see the scene where they sort of introduced mutants, but was it really blowing your hair back the way they did it? They're like, it's a mutation. And then the music kind of has the X-Men vibe going on. I mean, really lackluster if you ask me. And yeah, why did they have to put it in Mrs. Marvel? You could have put that shit in Doctor Strange. You could have put it anywhere. Why put it in Miss Marvel? Don't get me started on Phase 4 of the MCU. Phase 4 of the MCU is quantity over quality. That's Phase 4. That's what we're getting. We have more hours of movies and TV shows than all 3 previous phases combined, but yet it's somehow the worst phase yet. It just feels so messy. But yeah, give me some X-Men. Give me some X-Men. I don't care about Falcon. I don't care about Mrs. Marvel. I don't care about anything that they're doing or establishing. Just give me some X-Men. I think that's where we need to go. Give everyone in the MCU a few years off, and we'll catch up with them later. I want to miss them again. Max Nugenbauer says, we have catching up to do. I watched your review of Jurassic World Dominion. Sorry, John, but I disagree. Dominion was awesome and even better than Fallen Kingdom. I'm glad you liked it. I did not. I think it got everything wrong that it needed to get right. It's like having all these attributes and all these great things and not utilizing any of them to do anything. It's like having the nicest TV on the planet, But what you do is you keep it on true motion or soap opera mode. You keep it set on sports mode, which makes it way too vivid, makes all the colors blown out, and that's how you watch everything. It's like wasted potential when you have this great thing over here, and you just abuse it and bastardize it, and you never thought about if you should because you were too occupied thinking if you could. I hated the movie. So bad. But I'm glad you enjoyed it. I don't know. What'd you like about it? Did you like seeing Jeff Goldblum for 5 minutes and dinosaurs? If that's what you wanted, I think that's what you got. But I halfway through that film, I was like, I can't believe they did this. They did this. They fucked this up. I mean, I guess the only big positive you can give Jurassic World Dominion is at least it doesn't take place in an old man's basement. But then again, that makes me a hypocrite because earlier in the live show, I just said how much I like movies that take place in basements, such as Buffalo Bill's basement. But then again, in Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, they never put a velociraptor down in the well, did they? No, they did not. I'll tell you who they should have put down in that well, that little clone girl, Owen, and Claire. 3 terrible characters. Just keep them in the well. Let Buffalo Bill deal with them. We don't need dinosaurs for this. He'll take care of it. Somehow we just connected Silence of the Lambs to Jurassic Park. And with all that said, I think we should move on to the next question. Excuse me, you are going to put the lotion on the skin? All right. Oink Master Supreme Forever says, what movie have you seen that surprised you with quality? And by the way, there's another few questions before that, and I'll get to those. Sorry, I skipped over a couple. Well, trying to think of something with quality that surprised me. I will say this. I did just recently, for the first time, watch It Follows. And I have never seen the film. It came out years ago. People said it was good. For some reason, I just never watched it. And I finally did, and I was really pleasantly surprised by that movie. I was actually blown away. Now, is it perfect? No. There's a few things I don't love. I think the climax of the movie where they set a whole bunch of things, electronic devices around a pool, was sort of a bad plan. But other than that, the suspense, the tone, the atmosphere, it was very subdued and low key. Man, It Follows was really good. So I was angry at myself. I waited so long to watch it, and for that, I will punish myself in front of all of you. Never again, Johnny. So yeah, I was surprised by the quality of It Follows. Guys are killing it with the super chats, and I thank you for that. Thank you, guys. All right, Tangish Chandra, and I know I butchered your name, but let's continue. Has any of your ex-girlfriends contacted you to take down the videos they are in your channel? Will you do it? Please don't. No, I would never do it unless they sued me and took me to court, in which case I would still fight it and would not do it because, first of all, by owning those videos, I own a little piece of their soul that they can never get back. I'm kidding. No, I'm not. But no, I am kidding. You know, they agreed to be in those videos, and I don't think those videos are embarrassing or would taint anyone's future per se. So, yeah, no, I wouldn't. Or here's what I would do. I would say, listen, let's look at how much money the video has made since it's been up, multiply that by 5, and you pay me that, and I can take the video down. That's what I would agree to do. Even then, I don't think I would do it. But that's a great question. I've thought about that over the years. Michael Parton says, Phase 5 needs more R-rated material to be more successful like Blade, Ghost Rider, Punisher, Deadpool, Devil Slayer, and Howard the fucking Duck. I agree. You know what we need? We need to do what you just said, combine all of those characters, have Howard Duck lead the way, and just make the ultimate badass R-rated movie. Just go for it. I think people would be happy with that. I'm kind of joking right now, but then again, I could see it being successful, oddly enough. No, I agree. I think Disney really needs to start pushing the limits. I'm not saying they need to be rated R, but I am saying they need to push the confines of what PG-13 is. If you look at films like The Dark Knight or The Dark Knight Rises, those are PG-13 films, but they don't feel like immature comic book films. They feel very adult-oriented. They feel dark. You know, there's not over the top gruesomeness happening or language, but they're implied at times. And I think that's what Marvel should start doing, because everything nowadays just feels like this baby, watered down green screen put into a blender for easy mass consumption. And Marvel is to the point where they don't have to rely on quality anymore. They can rest on their laurels and say, you know what? Remember all 27 of those movies that you guys love? Well, as long as we put Marvel in front of this shit, you guys are going to come see it. Now, eventually, the rose-colored glasses will fade away, and we'll start seeing these movies for what they really are. And if any indication of that is, for example, Thor: Love and Thunder, which I think just they lost their way. Not many things worked in that movie. I'm hoping they step back and focus on making quality films, because I like the MCU. I think we should hold it to a higher standard, and we used to. But after Endgame, they just blew their load, fell over, and said, you know what? We'll worry about it in another 5 years. So, I don't know. What was the question again? Oh, yes, I do agree. They should start going slightly darker. Your name here says, thanks, brother. Hope you have a great weekend. By the way, have you seen The Old Man? Great show with deep characters and not know who the bad guy is. Old Man, I have not seen Old Man. I don't think I've heard of Old Man. It's a TV show? No, I don't think I've heard of it. I do want to see Gray Man. Is it Gray Man or Grayman with Ryan Gosling coming out on Netflix? Now, I've heard it's not very good, and it sort of feels like the movie of the week, like a straight-to-DVD action movie, but made slightly better. That's the vibe I'm getting from it, but I am looking forward to it. It comes out next week, right, on Netflix? Potato Bun says, look up Lucas Till and tell me he wouldn't have made a better Flash than that crazy guy we currently have. He's becoming the real-life Reverse Flash. I mean, every day Ezra Miller is kidnapping teenage girls or choking someone, right? I mean, how can you purposely or unintentionally fuck up your career any more than that guy has? Like, listen, I'm not a Boy Scout by any means, but I don't get accused of choking people 3 times a week. I'm just saying, let alone being a millionaire in the spotlight and still doing it. Okay? Yeah. Lucas Till, fine. Let's make him. I don't care who we make the Flash. Wasn't there was a, somebody was going around trying to start a petition to have I know her name's not Ellen Page anymore. His name's not Ellen Page anymore. What is his name now? Can I just... Mr. Page. Whatever. What is the name of the person now? I don't remember. So there was a petition to have him be the Flash. And I'm just like, okay. I don't care, honestly. As long as it's not Ezra Miller, I'm fine with that. Aaron says, Monsters look whack. Yeah, that looks like ass juice. I've never been a big fan of Rob Zombie, and I've been even less of a fan of Rob Zombie ever since the Halloween movies came out. But I will just say that Monsters movie that he made, who greenlit that? How do they think that's going to make more than $7? And what the fuck were they thinking? Sorry, I got something in my eye. I think it's the shit splatter from the Monsters trailer I watched earlier. Yes, Elliot Page, who starred in Inception and such films. His name's Elliot Page, yes. I wouldn't want Elliot Page as Flash either. I think that would be a miscasting. What were we talking about? Oh, yes, the Monsters trailer. It looks like it was shot on a green screen in my garage with, like, a phone camera. Now, I get that it's supposed to look like the TV show and a little bit cheap and B-rate. I completely understand those things. So, but does anyone care about the Munsters TV show since 1963? I don't know. At this rate, you might as well make another version of the Batman TV series from the 1960s. I would rather see that than the Munsters. I really thought he was going to go dark with the Munsters. I thought he was going to add something to it. But no, it looks really awful. One trailer I liked that did come out last week was the Clerks 3 trailer from Kevin Smith. I'm excited about that. I like movies where they make movies in the movies. And Kevin Smith has done this 5 or 6 times over the years in his movies where his characters do in fact make movies. And I enjoy that. It's sort of like Zack and Miri make a porno, except this time we don't have the porn. The next question comes from Oink Master Supreme Forever, who has been a member for 11 months. Yay! What movie have you seen that surprised you? Oh, I answered this already. Dustin Rich says, have you seen RoboCop Rogue City trailer? I have not seen RoboCop Rogue City trailer. Is it a real trailer or is it like a fan-made trailer? I haven't seen it. RoboCop would be... I remember years ago, when it comes to RoboCop, they were going to reboot it with Darren Aronofsky directing the movie. And it was going to be this really gritty, grounded movie. And it sounded phenomenal. But it just never came to fruition. Then we got that like bland RoboCop movie 10 years ago. And then at one point, Darren Aronofsky was also going to direct the Batman movie. Not the last Batman movie, but before Batman Begins came out, Darren Aronofsky was attached to direct that, and his version of Batman was a guy who worked as a mechanic in a garage, and that was sort of like his Bat Cave. I'm glad that didn't happen, but interesting nevertheless. But I would like to see that used in another vigilante-type movie. Legion says, we need a sequel to the anime movie Akira. Yeah, I can't really dive into it and give you my deep thoughts on Akira. I think I own it on Steelbook, Blu-ray, but I've never sat down and watched it. One movie I've never sat down and watched. I've seen clips. I've had friends who've told me, hey, watch this part, and I have. I've just never sat down and watched the entire movie. Michael Parton says, the Black Phone doesn't need a sequel, right? I don't think it needs a sequel, but what it could do is have a prequel. And I think they will, because if you look at the success of the movie, people like it. It's been critically praised. It's making money. So I think there is room for a prequel there that also could explain things and go back even further. Maybe why the grabber is the grabber, or go back to his childhood, because it sounds like he was tormented. So maybe focus on that. Maybe go back to like the 1960s or something. I think that would be an interesting story, but I did enjoy it. Night King 01 says, does Thor Love and Thunder seem like a real movie? No, it doesn't. And the more I think about it, and I said this in my review, it felt like a cartoon. And you know, in cartoons where like characters get from point A to point B just because, and the logic is sort of lost and slightly flawed, but they just do it to have some jokes and cool visuals. That's what Thor Love and Thunder felt like. It felt like the entire story of Thor Love and Thunder felt like a subplot of a better Thor movie. It just really didn't get what it needed to right. Like, they wasted Christian Bale in that movie. Completely wasted him. Could have been a great foe, a great villain, and just wasted. Just 7 minutes of screen time. Poof, done. Christian V says, John, which is the worst final Star Wars, Rise of No Plans or Jurassic World Dominion? For me, I would say I didn't have much faith going into Jurassic World Dominion. I had a little bit more faith going into Rise of Skywalker. I really did. And I felt like this is Star Wars. Like, there is so much fandom. Not to say there's not fandom with Jurassic World, but there's so much more fandom with Star Wars. And I thought, okay, they're at least going to try in this movie. They're going to correct the wrongs of the Last Jedi. And more or less, Rise of Skywalker and Jurassic World Dominion share so many things. They both bring back legacy characters and nostalgia, but they completely just make it so one-dimensional and waste it. It's just like, okay, they're here so we can put them in the movie poster in the trailer, but once you actually see the film, it feels so hollow and empty, and it just feels like everyone's doing a parody of what their past character was. So yeah, I would say the worst is Rise of Skywalker. I hated watching Rise of Skywalker more than I watched Dominion, but I also hated Dominion quite a bit. Now combine the two, and that would be the worst movie ever made. And also the most expensive. Zach Mole says, and thank you for the very generous super chat, Zach. Thank you, man. John, what insight can you give us into Chris Stuckman's film Shelby Oaks? Has Chris ever said anything to you about it? Seems like he's passionate. And a dramatic pause. Will you review it honestly? Love you, brother. I've just talked to him via Messenger a few times about it. I thought it was a found footage film. He made it very clear to me that it's a documentary style film. So I don't know much more. I remember before he announced the cast that was in the movie, some of the more prominent names. I remember him telling me those before he announced them, but other than that, I don't know a lot, and I didn't really ask a lot. Will I review it? I don't know. Let me watch it first, and then we'll cross that bridge. Am I opposed to reviewing it? No. Will I give it an honest review? Yes, I will. But yeah, let me watch it first, and then I'll decide. I might. I think that would be interesting. But I don't like. It's someone's film that you know. So do you really want to be brutally honest, or do you just want to add constructive criticism? I think constructive criticism would be the right thing to do. Isaiah Fortis says, "It's always milkshake season in my pants." Well, if you move around enough, it could be cottage cheese season. A quote I think about daily from that video with you and Stuckman. Oh God, I said that once. Wow. Any chance you guys make another? I said that? It's always milkshake season in my pants. That's good stuff. Probably not, man. But it will forever and always be milkshake season in my pants. My Dixie Wrecked. Great name. I like that. Hello, John. What way do you put toilet paper back in the holder? Oh, man. You got to put the front edge out and down so you can grab it. If you're pulling over and grabbing it from the back, that's... Who are you? No. That's like putting your head in the toilet as you flush it. It just doesn't make any sense. It's backwards. Sometimes I get so lazy, though, I don't even put the toilet paper on the roll for a week. I just set it out here. And then I've gotten to a weird point in my life, and I do want to talk about this because this is a very deep topic I've been waiting to talk about for many years on YouTube, and I just figured now is the time to give you my profound deep thoughts on said topic. And this is the best recommendation or advice I can give any of you watching right now, no matter how old or young you are. Use wet wipes. Okay, let me give you an example. When you come home and your hands are filthy and dirty, right? Do you take a dry paper towel and just wipe your hands and go, oh, they're clean? No, you do not. You use wetness, moisture, and a little bit of soap. You wet them and you cleanse them. That's how you clean your hands. And that is how you should clean your ass. So everyone watching needs to go out and get wet wipes immediately. Don't say I didn't try to help you. Plus, it just makes you feel better. Let's continue. Javid Ben Combs, me? Did I say that right? Or is it Yavid? I'm going to say Javid. Opinion Halloween Kills. Was Halloween Kills the last one? My brain is Halloween Kills the last one coming out this October. What was the previous installment called? Halloween. We don't know what to do with Jamie Lee Curtis, so we'll put her in this hospital bed for 95% of the movie as we carry on about some random subplot you don't care about. And we have some of the worst death kill scenes ever. So as far as the finale of the Halloween trilogy that has come out, I'm hoping they end on a high note. But after the previous two movies, I was sort of let down. And going into the 2018 one, I was super hyped. I was like, oh man, they're going to get this right. And then what did we get? Well, we got jokes like peanut butter on my penis. So as far as the previous installment, was not a fan. I thought it was hard to get through. As far as the next one goes, I want to see it, but man, they sort of lost me. Mark says he uses wet wipes too. See, Mark? Welcome to the club. How does it feel to be nice, clean, and fresh down below? Michael Parton says, I'm hoping Halloween ends. Oh, it's Halloween. Yeah, Halloween Kills, then this one's Halloween Ends. Okay. Halloween Ends is an improvement over Kills. Kills had a lot of issues. I did love the beginning where it took place during the first film. I felt like more of the previous film should have taken place in the 1970s. I was hoping for more of that because that was the best part of that film. And then the way that it sort of all concludes, it feels like, well, the only reason we did those flashback scenes was to show some cop character. That's what I vaguely remember. But it just felt like sort of a lame excuse to go back in time and show some of those sequences. I wanted more of them, though. But that finale where the citizens are beating up Michael Myers in the streets, like they're gangbanging Michael Myers in the streets, and one of the ladies in the background has like an iron, like a laundry iron that you like get wrinkles out of clothes with. Like she brought that to kill some supernatural serial killer in the street. Like that's like your mother saying, you know what? Hey, Timmy, there's a serial killer wearing a mask in the streets who has haunted this town for the last 25 years. I'm gonna take the iron from the laundry room and go out there and start beating him up. Like it was just stupid. And they wasted Tommy, the character of Tommy in that movie. I thought there was way more they could have done with him. For example, like Tommy, was it Tommy Doyle, right? His character in the previous, and I'm sorry I'm going off on a tangent about Halloween Kills, but I need to get this out. His character in that film has been waiting his whole life and preparing for the return of Michael Myers. And he just is like, he looks like some dad bod guy who goes out there with a wooden baseball bat and gets his ass kicked in 3 seconds. No. That version of Tommy Doyle should have been training. He should have been in UFC classes, learning kung fu. He should have been experienced with nunchucks. He should have had knives on him and guns. He should have been ready. He should have been almost like mercenary-like, just waiting for the day Michael Myers came back. And that way he could put up a fight. And we could have had the best like confrontation that any other person from the legacy of characters has ever had with Michael Myers one-on-one. I think that would have been a really cool showdown scene. I'm sure, yeah, he dies by the end of it, but it wouldn't look like some dad bod guy with a baseball bat that just gets his ass kicked in 3 seconds. That's what they should have done with the character of Tommy. Let's move on. Man, you guys are... Okay, I'm going to go a little quicker on the questions here. I'm sorry. I'm getting a little backed up. Night King 01 says, Bale said he didn't like how Thor turned out. Yeah, anyone with any logic or common sense couldn't like how that movie turned out. I feel like they bastardized his character. I feel like there was probably another 30 minutes of runtime. I know they say the director's cut's like 4 hours long, but I truly think there was like 20 more minutes of that movie that definitely should have been on the theatrical cut. That wasn't there. And also when you watch Thor Love and Thunder and you just go back to the sequence with Russell Crowe playing Zeus that goes on for like 20 minutes, You could have just cut that shit out. Like, or you could have condensed it into like 10 minutes or less. It just felt like this big portion of the film that just felt so wasted. It felt like a pit stop. Dustin Rich says, will you do an ASMR video where you rub baby oil on your skin and slowly sensually eat Sour Patch Kids? I know everyone wants it, John. Truth be told, there was an idea I had like 5 years ago where I was going, as a joke, I was just going to make an ASMR video where I in fact was eating Sour Patch Kids. And it was going to go a little something like this. Pretty much, just like that. Hope you enjoyed that. Ben Clover Field Lane. I think I said that right. Ben Cloverfield Lane. Prefer movies or TV shows, John? How many movies do you watch per week or day? It really depends. Sometimes there's some weeks where I get really just in the movie mood and I get nostalgic and I might watch 3 or 4 really nostalgic movies or movies I like. And if there's a new movie coming out that week, I always watch the new movie coming out. I would say maybe 3 to 4 movies a week. Like today, I just watched The Batman again for like the 9th time. And every time I watch it, I start really picking it apart now. I think I need to make a new video talking about it. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying there's way more blaring things I don't like. And I'm starting to notice them this time around. And then I immediately watched The Dark Knight after that. So lately, I have been watching way more TV shows than I have movies. Just for me, I feel like TV shows, the quality of them are going higher and the quality of films are going lower. Not all movies and not all TV shows. But after Stranger Things Season 4, I started to rewatch Game of Thrones for like the 3rd or 4th time. And now I'm on Season 3. So yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. And I can't wait for the new season of Game of Thrones. I'm eagerly anticipating it. I'm hoping it's good. Also, we have a new season we have the new Lord of the Rings show. And there's a few. Oh, and Better Call Saul, the final 8 episodes are starting to air now on AMC. So I watched episode 8 last night. So yeah, I've been watching more TV shows, I would say. But truth be told, I watch more YouTube videos than I do anything. Yeah, I did watch the Monsters trailer. We talked about that like 10 minutes ago. So scroll back and check it out. Tangish Chandwa says, should a Star Wars movie ever be rated R? No, I don't think there's any need or... No. I don't think you would ever need a rated R Star Wars film. Never. Would it be cool? Yeah, it would be cool. But do you need it? That was the question. No, you do not. You don't need it to be rated R to make a good Star Wars film. They have proven that. The first 3, not rated R, good movies. Then we get shit like Obi-Wan, and I don't know what they're doing. By the way, speaking of Obi-Wan, there's a guy on TikTok, and if anyone can help me out, what he did is he took the entire series of Obi-Wan, and he's like a master editor. And what he did is he edited the entire series down into like a 2.5 hour movie. And he actually replaced certain scenes. He actually digitized certain things. He added more lines from previous movies with what Darth Vader was saying to help the character logic and motivation make even more sense. And I know he put it on like a Google Drive somewhere, and it immediately got taken down. I would love to watch it, but anyway, if you guys know what I'm talking about, let me know. Max Nugenbauer says, Thor 4 and Doctor Strange 2 are enjoyable, but very disappointing. Not only disappointing, discombobulating, very choppy. It blatantly feels like there's 25 minutes of runtime just ripped out of those movies. But let me continue on. Also, I did not like True Romance, by far the worst Tony Scott movie I've ever seen. I would not say the worst movie from Tony Scott is True Romance. No way, no how, my good man. No way, no how. Tony Scott made some junky piece of shit movies. Like, I'll tell you a few that were just pointless movies that felt like they should have been direct-to-DVD concepts, but somehow they got feature-length films. Not only that, but they got like A-list actors to be in them. And Tony Scott's movies in his later years, the way he filmed his movies where they looked like juddery, like the frame rate was missing and the contrast was turned up. It looked like early 2000s music videos, and I hated the way his movies looked in the 2000s. But like Pelham 123, just a boring movie. What was the other one? It wasn't called Unstoppable with Chris Pine. That was really boring and bad. Man on Fire was a good movie. But Tony Scott made some bad movies. I'm sure there's a few I'm missing. But off the top of my head, it just felt like he was making movies that had zero substance and barely any story to justify making a 2-hour movie. But then again, a lot of his movies were sort of like that. Like Top Gun, never really had a story. But here you go, here's a 2-hour movie. Days of Thunder, race car movie. Okay. He has to win the race. Not much to it. The next one. I had a really dark joke to say about that, but I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it. Claudia Rogajon says, watching Batman Beyond again, pretty dark show. I never watched Batman Beyond. I go back to the original 1990s Batman animated series, and that's where I stay. MKF30 says, see Beavis and Butthead do the universe. All right, so on my last live show, I did say I was going to watch it, and I made it 10 minutes into it. And they were in the NASA center taking the control arm and jerking off a giant rocket. And I get it. You know, trust me. I have when it comes to humor, I can laugh like a 7-year-old little boy, okay? Especially at a dick joke. I get it. But after that, I was like, you know what? Something about it felt off to me. It wasn't, I just honestly, I didn't think it was that funny, and I couldn't bear watch another hour of it. And I think when it comes to like Beavis and Butthead Do America, the story in itself was more interesting. Beavis and Butthead Go to Space, to me, not a concept I need to watch for an hour and a half. So I made it 10 minutes into the new Beavis and Butthead movie. I'm sorry. If I failed you and you're disappointed in me, I'm sorry. I just had better shit to do. What did I do after that? I think I played Rocket League. What soccer team do you support? I don't watch soccer, so for me to say I support any soccer team would be a blatant lie. Oh, here's the next part of your question. I heard Owen Wilson being a superhero in Secret Headquarters and Anthony Starr would be great Reverse Flash, in my opinion. Yeah, I don't know much about the Flash universe. Owen Wilson, I think I'm over Owen Wilson in this time in my life. Oh, gosh, wow. We're just a couple kids with our hearts racing. What are we going to do? I don't know, gosh. BTS says, one thing about the wet wipes you forgot to mention, never flush them or you will clog your plumbing. Knowing the folks, they won't know how to do it. So I live in an apartment and I don't care. I want to clog the pipes. I want to break the pipes. I hope my toilet explodes because it's not my responsibility to fix it. So I will clog the pipes every day. As long as I can clean my ass in a proper fashion that makes me feel better about what I'm doing in life, so be it. That is a small price to pay for a little bit of plunging action. You don't walk around with a sticky ass or a clogged pipe? That is the question I have for you. I think that's the question everyone needs to ask themselves every day. I know I do. Anthony Favita says, hey, John. I've been watching your videos since 2014. Well, thank you for that, Anthony. And wanted to spread some love. Also, what's your favorite Indiana Jones flick? For many years, I always said Indy 3. And I said that for many. I love Sean Connery. I love the camaraderie between him and Harrison Ford. Junior. But after revisiting it this year, I think I prefer Raiders. I think I prefer Raiders. I really do. I think the first is the best. But if you can take Temple of Doom and cut out the first 10 minutes of it, after they fall out of the airplane with the raft as a parachute, if you cut that out, I love everything about it. And I love how dark it goes. I love Short Round in the film. I love the ending sequence where they're ripping people's hearts out and they're on the mining rails. It's just, that's awesome to me. So I'm still gonna go with the first. Actually, my answer used to be the third, but I think the first Indy is by far the best. But hey, we have a new one coming out. I'm hoping it's good. And keep in mind, Harrison Ford is 80 years old. Keep that in mind. Pack Attack says, thoughts on the Crow sequels. Never watched them. Probably never will. Wasn't easy money. What's his name? Edward Furlong. Wasn't fucking Edward Furlong one of the Crow movies? I think he was. That I do want to watch. But no, I have not watched the sequels to The Crow. Max Nugenbauer says, in Thor 4, did you think the goats were annoying? Did you watch my review of the movie? Go over and watch my review of the movie. Just go watch it. Yes. Yeah. I think the first time they mentioned them, I was like, okay, haha, screaming goats, we get it. And then they did it again. And then they did it again. And you just realized at that point that they didn't really have jokes that fit the scenes or enhanced anything anyone was doing. They just had shitty slapstick humor jokes to slap in the movie. Also, they made an orgy joke like 12 times. I don't know what it is with Taika Waititi and orgies. Like, he thinks it's funny. I don't know, but I remember in Thor Ragnarok, Jeff Goldblum, there's like references to orgies a few times, and like I get it, but it feels like an odd sense of humor that he's putting into these movies. It's just like bizarre humor. So, yeah, the screaming goats are pretty fucking annoying, yeah. Ryanman6000 says, have you ever had a video game take over your life? I have. Let me take you back to 2010. And the game was called Crackdown 2 for Xbox 360. Now, in Crackdown 2, you become this super cop and you get these powers where you can jump and fly and get super strength. And you can climb buildings. In that game, there's all these hidden orbs. I think there's like 600 hidden orbs across this open world map. And I had to find every single one of these. It consumed 2 weeks of my life. And then one day, one glorious sunny day, I found that last orb under a bridge. I had been looking for 10 hours straight, and there it was. So yeah, I think that was the last time a video game really consumed my life. B-Force Gaming says, thoughts on No Country for Old Men. Love it. Give me more of it. That's another movie or another film. We're talking about film now, not movies. That's another film, as I sound really pretentious, that I did not see when it came out. And I waited. I think that, when did that get released? 2007? Or later? Either way, I waited until like 2016 to watch that. And once I did, I was like, wow, why did I wait so long to watch this? It was everything I wanted. It's a slow burn. It's a cat and chase movie, or a cat and mouse chase movie. Great movie. So yeah, I have seen No Country for Old Men, and I love it. And I want more movies sort of like that. We don't get enough slow burn movies where you just, and Javier Bardem in that movie where he has the air cannon gun. Oh, so good. What a great character. That's how you make a menacing, threatening villain. They don't need to say all this shit. They just need to be menacing and have a presence about them. Azim the Dream Review says, hey Johnny, would you be surprised if I picked Jurassic World Dominion over Rise of Skywalker and that I really enjoyed the film? No, I would not. And I'm glad you did. It's all subjective. It's okay, man. You can like whatever you want. If you enjoyed it, I salute you. For today, you die. Alexander Cromwell says, have you ever seen the movie Blowout? It's directed by Brian De Palma. I think it has similar beats to Nightcrawler. Highly recommend. I have been meaning to watch that movie. That came out, 1986 or something? I have been meaning to watch that movie for like 3 years now. I always write it down to remember to watch it. Everyone always recommends it. And a lot of people say it's the best De Palma film that he's made, or one of the best. I do want to watch it. And the fact that you just compared it to Nightcrawler makes me want to watch it even more. So I'm adding it to the list. I have had it on many lists, but I will add it again. Blowout movie. All right. Oh, is it playing on anything right now, on any streaming service that I can watch it? Because I might just do that after this live stream. And we got Jalen Martin. Welcome to Don't Get Scared. And I think Jalen was a member before, but maybe you just rejoined. But either way, thanks, Jalen. Yay! Zepsy Cinema says, do you feel like there will be a cinematic revolution? People seem to be turning against Marvel. Can a new generation of original filmmakers happen? Well, the thing is, occasionally we do get those little seeds that grow into some great, I was going to say a weed, but growing into a weed doesn't really sound like a praise, does it? A beautiful tree. Sometimes we get good films that slip through the cinematic Marvel universe that aren't comic book movies. I think right now what's happening is there's not fatigue. It's not that we have fatigue with comic book movies. It's not that. You just have to make good comic book movies. Just good storytelling. That's all we need. And they're getting lazy. They're getting worse. They're not progressing. They're devolving. You know, like the evolution is done. Now they're de-evolving. That sounds like the right term to use. Potted Plant Entertainment says, best and worst movie in Conjuring universe. Oh, by far the best one was the first one. The second one was okay. Everything after that I did not like. I hate. The latest one, I could only make it halfway through it, and I was like, okay, this just feels so cheap. After Thanos died, I stopped caring about Marvel. You and I both. Yeah, the thing was that dynamic with those original... Really, Iron Man and Captain America's dynamic, that relationship, is what carried all of those films, or at least that universe for the most part. And once they both disappeared after Endgame, it's sort of just like, who am I supposed to care about? The B team? I mean, you have Sam Wilson being Captain America. The guy doesn't have any powers. He's a dude that flies around. He gets hit once, he's dead. How can I care about him? Azim the Dream Review says, John, are you going to go see No Way Home extended cut released in theaters? I did not know that was a thing. Probably not. I'll watch it at home or watch it the day after. They'll show the extended clips on YouTube. Do you think it's worth it? No, I don't think it's worth it. Jurassic World Dominion is also releasing an extended cut, but only on Blu-ray. I'm excited for both, but they're both only 14 minutes longer. Do you see any changes? I really don't see what major changes you could introduce in Jurassic World Dominion to make it a better movie. Maybe they'll have more scenes of dinosaurs being attacking things, but that won't make it a better movie. You'd really have to just take the script, neuralize everyone who's watched it, burn every copy of the film, erase it and eradicate it from the planet, and start over again. And hire talented writers to actually write a competent script and a good director, because the guy they have right now just isn't. That's what you need to do. And what Jurassic World Dominion should have been was, you had the perfect concept. You had everything working that you needed. Dinosaurs are in our society. They rule. And what did you do? Well, nothing really changed. Like nothing. Nothing changed. But what they did do is introduce killer genetically engineered locusts, because that's the subplot we want to see in a Jurassic Park movie about dinosaurs. We want to see locusts. They should have made it more post-apocalyptic. People should have been scared of dinosaurs as they rule everything. We're hiding in shelters. We're driving vehicles around that are like wrapped in cages and barbed wire. Maybe some people train dinosaurs for all the wrong reasons. They almost weaponize them. I mean, there was so much they could have done. You know, I wanted to see like Walking Dead meets Jurassic Park. We didn't get that. Someone said Iron Man 2 is awesome. Skywalker says, you're always up late. What's your work schedule like? Or when do you sleep? And thanks for the movie reviews. I woke up to, usually, the thing is I try to wake up early. And by early, I mean by like 10 o'clock. And I try to get going. I respond to some emails in the morning. I drink some iced coffee, usually like a half a gallon of iced coffee. Today, I did that. I went to the gym, got some food. Tinkered around on YouTube, messed with some more emails, and for some reason I just work better at night. I always have. No one's bothering me. I don't hear cars outside and dogs barking. No one's going to knock on my door. No one's going to call me. So late at night is when my creative juices turn on. And I think a lot of you might feel the same way. I mean, because we have 330 people watching right now. It's 1 o'clock in the morning, East Coast time. So I don't know what it is. For some reason, I just come alive at night. Like, I can't do the same thing at 11 o'clock in the morning. It just feels wrong to me. I've just always been a night owl. That's my clock. Ever since I was a kid, I've just always been that way. I try to be normal. I try to suppress my vampire instincts. And eventually I get that craving for blood. And I stay up late. And my best ideas happen late at night. Night King 01 says, John, Temple of Doom is goofy. Kingdom of the Crystal Skull is goofy. Temple of Doom is a masterpiece. How dare you say that? You know what I need to do? I need to rip out your heart. Hold it in front of you as it's beating and say, is that goofy? Huh? Is child slavery goofy? That's not goofy. It's dark and menacing. And I love it. I don't love child slave labor. I didn't say that. Don't quote me. Yes, I do. The next question comes from Azim the Dream Reviews. John, despite the fact... did we already answer? Okay. John, despite the fact I really enjoyed Dominion, I acknowledge the criticism against the movie. I have an idea for a live-action series between Fallen Kingdom and Dominion that I feel they really need to do. Really focus on dinosaurs and humans coexisting. Yeah, that's what they should have done in the last movie that cost $300 million, but they failed to do it and somehow greenlit a shitty fucking script that was the biggest disappointment of my life, and I hated it. As Jeff Goldblum would say, that's one big pile of shit. Jayla Martin has become a member 9 minutes ago. Well, thank you. I already gave you a shout out for that, but thanks once again. I love semen. It's true. I do. Great name, by the way, but it is in fact. Hey, Johnny, have you ever played the game Indiana Jones and Emperor's Tomb? I have not. I might have played Indiana Jones on the SNES, maybe. It's a prequel to Temple of Doom, and it's fantastic. The punching is perfect, and I recommend it to any Indiana Jones fan. Well, good to know. I don't think I've ever played it, though. Michael Barton says, with Nintendo getting their own animated movie studio, would a Legend of Zelda and Metroid movie work as live action than animated? Whew. If you made a live action Zelda movie, oh man. What tone would you go with? Would you go with like an epic Lord of the Rings tone, or would you make it a little more fantastical and sort of keep it like, and for lack of a better example, sort of keep it like Thor Ragnarok, you know, like keep it that tone, a little bit more light and fantastical looking. I don't know. I think a Zelda movie could be cool. I just feel like no matter what you do, you will disappoint people. That is a fine line. I think Metroid would be a little more forgiving, and I think if I was the studio, I'd probably start there. I think there's a little more leeway with a Metroid movie. And plus, it's just a cool concept. Like, you can go cool and futuristic. You can make it live action, or maybe you utilize a lot of motion capture. Yeah, I'd like to see a Metroid movie. I never really played the Zelda games, so like I'm not a diehard Zelda fan, but Metroid I think would be my preference of like a movie to watch. Dustin Rich says, can you explain in detail how the French flipper trick works? Well, Dustin, I thought you never asked. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I need everyone to pause and go watch Batman Returns. Now let's get back to the question. The French flipper trick works a lot like this right here. You have an upper and you have a downer. What you decide to do with these is up to you. But as you do it, you got to go, show my French flipper trick. And trust me, it works every time. B-Force Gaming says, the Hateful Eight's music gives me chills. What about you? Oh, I love it, man. I love the score to Hateful Eight. I love the look of it. I love that 70 millimeter camera that you use with the film grain. Oh, it looks so good. Yeah, and also, as far as the score goes, it has this really unsettling vibe, which is exactly what it's supposed to do. But you just, when you watch that film and you listen to the score and it's like the blizzard outside, it just sends chills on my body. It makes both my nipples hard, and I'm like, who's going to kill me right now? Yeah, it's a great score. Michael Parton says, I wanted Chris Pratt to ride a T-Rex. I wanted Jeff Goldblum to ride the T-Rex, man. And I wanted the T-Rex to eat Chris Pratt's character because I just hate the character of Owen. Just Owen and Claire. Two boring, bland characters who have never contributed anything to anything. And then it can eat the little clone girl. Why not? But yeah, I definitely wanted to see Jeff Goldblum ham it up a little more than he did. Mike Peters says, John, it seems like Star Wars fans are always vocal about what they want, and for whatever reason, Disney always does the opposite. Thoughts? Yeah, there's so much lore and fan fiction and novels and just things you can go off of, borrow from, to make the ultimate movie, or at least the ultimate Star Wars movie. And yet they fail to do it. They're either incompetent or they hate their fans. I'm not quite sure what it is. I don't understand the logic, and I probably never will. But they're losing money now. They're starting to lose money with some of their releases. And that's a good sign, because what happens is everyone that works that corporate office goes, oh, I'm afraid of the shareholders. I better fix this. So then they're held accountable, and they eventually do. So I'm hoping eventually we get quality films once again from Disney. I as far as the Star Wars universe goes, I don't know. Like, how do you mess up the conclusion of Episode 9 as bad as you do? There's no undoing that. You just have to start fresh or go back further. So I'm so mad I forgot what you said. I forgot the question. Oh yeah, they do the opposite. Yeah, they do. Azim the Dream Reviews. Okay, Azim, please stop asking me about Jurassic Park, man. I can't. I'm Jurassic Park out. Also, to add, on my idea for Jurassic World live action series, you have Jeff Goldblum in the main role, as he is the first one to react to the dinosaurs on the mainland at the end of Fallen Kingdom. How does that sound, John? What would you want to see? How about this? How about we make a series called Ian Malcolm and his pet dinosaur, okay? And it's a very low-key, like, it's not this epic $500 million series. It's just Jeff Goldblum's character in his everyday life, and he has a baby dinosaur. And they become best friends. And sometimes he talks to it, and then he just goes to work, and that's it. That's the show. I'd watch that. That would be better than Jurassic World Dominion. And then one day that little dinosaur grows up. And Jeff Goldblum rides that dinosaur. Michael Entity says, have you seen 8mm with Nicolas Cage? Very underrated. Michael, have you watched any of my videos in the last 9 years? I've been talking about that movie every chance I get. What did you get you off or something? I love 8mm. It is dark, it is seedy, it is disgusting, but everyone should watch it. It's one of the better Nicolas Cage films, directed by Joel Schumacher. And it's one of his better films, and it's definitely, once again, Don't watch it with children. Watch it on a cold, rainy night. There's a character in the film called The Machine who does unspeakable things to people, and he wears a leather gimp mask. If I haven't sold you, I don't know what else will, but yeah, 8mm is great. I remember watching that for the first time on VHS back in 1999 when it first came out, and I was like, whoa, what is this? It always stuck with me. Alex McCutcheon says, hey, John, miss seeing your videos, got me through a lot. Love you, bro. Well, I love you too, Alex, and thank you for that. Well, you know what? We have lots of videos, and, I was looking back at this channel over the last couple of years at how many live streams I've done, and I got to the point where I added up like 80 live streams, and if each one averaged out to be like 2 hours long, I was like, that is a lot of time. So there's hours and endless hours of content and questions that go off the rails to enjoy. And in about 20 years, when I look back on some of these live streams, I'm just going to cringe or laugh. Or maybe I'll go through a midlife crisis where I delete all of them. All right. But thanks, man. The next one comes from MKF30. Wonder Woman is the better heroine film over CM and BW. What the fuck are those? CM? What's CM and BW? Black Widow and what's CM? Captain Marvel. Sorry. It's getting late. Abbreviations sometimes slip over my brain. Yeah, Wonder Woman's by far the more interesting character of all three. Black Widow to me, I never thought she needed her own movie, and if she did, it should have came out 7 years ago. Captain Marvel, don't care. Boring character. Overpowered, don't care. Still don't care, and I think Marvel knows that no one cares. That's why they're not exactly pushing out her second solo movie. Wonder Woman, yeah, but the Wonder Woman 84 was terrible and atrocious and did everything wrong that it shouldn't have done. But the character, yeah, I think is the most interesting. Potted Plant Entertainment says, I watched The Witcher reboot recently, and it was awful. I did not watch The Witcher. I can't really chime in on it. So, The Witcher reboot? Or you mean the series? I didn't watch The Witcher. Sorry. Joseph Knowles says, was in my car taking pre-workout and thought of the line in Home Alone 2. 2, make it 3. I ain't driving, except I was driving. Yeah, I've actually used that line many times in my normal everyday life. I have a friend who also loves Home Alone as much as I do. We probably love that and the movie Hook too much. But yeah, anytime I can use that line, 2, make it 3, I ain't driving, I do it. At any occasion. Obi Reviews says, oh, and the other line I always use whenever I get a chance from Hook is, you're afraid you're going to be sucked out. Obi Reviews says, just rewatched The Girl Next Door, such an underrated comedy that came out in the 2000s. Yeah, I think it came out, 2003 or 4? I love it. Yeah, it's sort of like a remake of something like, what's the, God, my brain just went blank. Come on, Tom Cruise movie, Risky Business. It's sort of like the modern day remake of Risky Business in a way, which I love it. Yeah, it's definitely an underrated movie and it still holds up. And then you have the Riddler in the movie. What the fuck is his name? What is the guy who plays the Riddler's name? It's getting late. I know it. Paul Dano. Yes. My IMDb chip is slow, but it will work if I tap my brain. Yeah, The Girl Next Door is great. If you've never seen it, go watch it. Abinash Mahatni says, what's your opinion of people recording films to post in social media and shouting at random cameos? I watch a new films from social media and YouTube clips. Let me try to comprehend what this question is asking. What's your opinion on people recording film to post in social media and shouting at random cameos? So are you saying like people recording the movie in the theater and just showing like a cameo in the movie, like Black Bolt or something, or Mr. Fantastic? I don't know. I hate people like that, especially if they spoil the movie. It's like, did you need accreditation this bad? You're gonna just rip off the movie and record it in the screen? Why? So a lot of people watch your video and like it, and then it just instantly gets deleted. Did that make you feel good about posting it? Like, what did that do for you? I've never understood it either. Night King 01 says, John, new Stallone superhero movie coming out. Yes, the Centennial. Is it? Is it called Centennial Man or something like that? Yeah, I've been keeping up with that for the last couple of years. The superhero that he plays in that movie sort of reminds me of the superhero that Bruce Willis played in Glass ever so slightly. But yeah, the story of it is Stallone is sort of like this retired superhero. Like he was Mr. Fantastic back in the day, but now he's just living a normal everyday life and coming to terms with that, and something bad happens and he comes out of retirement. That's what I've understood from it. And it comes to Amazon Prime in what? August? September? I can't wait. I love me some Stallone. I am the law. Yeah, I'll know. You want to be in a superhero movie or something? Potted Plant Entertainment says, sorry, I meant the Wicker Man. Laugh out loud, I got confused. I got confused too. Yes, I have seen the Wicker Man with Nicolas Cage, where he super kicks a lady. Yes, I did. It's bad. I watched it once. B-Force Gaming says, it's incredible how Quentin Tarantino was able to create 1960s Hollywood. Oh, yeah. Yeah, just to a T. Just the look of that. And you feel like you're so immersed into 1960s Hollywood. Yeah, Tarantino honestly can do no wrong, in my opinion. And I wish more movies would follow suit and actually like reproduce things to a physical standpoint and not just tack some fucking green screen in the background. That would be nice. But yeah, I do appreciate it. And Once Upon a Time in Hollywood I rewatch that movie probably once every like 3 or 4 months. Every time I watch it, I like it more. Joseph Knowles says, what's the longest you have gone without pooping? Oh man. That's an insightful question, and let me give you a profound answer. Probably like 3 days maybe, but no. A couple years ago, it was like 4 days. What happened was I ate way too much fiber. I was eating tacos, and tacos have that really thick corn flour wrap on them that just you know what it does. It clogs you. That was no good. I had to drink a lot of iced coffee and do a lot of squats. So yeah, thank you for that question. I hope you guys enjoyed the answer. You guys came here to hear me talk about movies. Now I'm talking about my fecal matter. But then again, most movies nowadays are fecal matter, so it's all one and the same, isn't it? Michael Entity says, Conair or The Rock. I'm going to go with The Rock. I think Conair is more fun, has more levity. Definitely rewatchable, but as far as like the better of the two movies go, I'm going to go with The Rock. Winners go home and fuck the prom queen. Roberto Jordan says nothing, but thanks for the super chat, Roberto. Joseph Knowles says, do you wish Jeff Goldblum played Mr. Freeze? Batman, you're going to stop me or something? Because I don't think so. I have a ray gun. Yeah, that would be great. I think his villainous role in Thor Ragnarok was what his Mr. Freeze would be like. Yeah, I don't think you'd make a very good Mr. Freeze. Maybe in one of the Joel Schumacher movies it would have worked. I'm still mad we never got Nicolas Cage as the Scarecrow, though. Noah says nothing, but thanks for the super chat, Noah. Happy Jack says, have you seen the new Jurassic World, John? It's so good. Subplot is amazing. Chris Pratt is brilliant in it. Happy Jack. You're making me sad. I know you're joking. I at least hope you are. Roberto Jordan says, first watched you as a 10-year-old. Now I'm 22. Oh my God. In a way, I like to think that I raised you. And for that, I expect a Father's Day card. Well, isn't that crazy? That is a bizarre thought to think you were 10 and now you're 22. I molded you into the man you are now. That's weird. That's weird to think about. That's crazy. I started YouTube when I was 23, so I'm getting old as shit. And I thought YouTube would last like a year, maybe 2. I was like, oh, I'll get 100 subscribers and I'll be done. But here I am, still kicking. But thanks, man. Maybe if you stick around long enough, we'll get into your 30s, then your 40s, and then I'll be literally in a diaper, and I won't need wet wipes anymore. Maddie D for 3 says, hey, John, thoughts on the movie London Has Fallen, and do you think they will make another movie in the series? I did not watch that. Olympus Has Fallen, I did enjoy. I have a review for it. I never got around to watching London Has Fallen, and I didn't really hear anyone say anything good about it. They're like, yeah, it's a movie. And that's how I sort of feel about it. Didn't they make a third one? Where they try to kill their president with a whole bunch of drones? Is that the second or third movie? Is there 3 movies in that? Or is London Has Fallen the last one? I don't know. I could care less if they made another one. MK30 says, which was better, Judge Dredd movie, Carl or Sly? Oh, what was the better Judge Dredd movie? Come on. Carl Urban's was better, but Sly looked the part. Sly looked like Judge Dredd. But Carl Urban was the better Judge Dredd. And once again, I've said this before and I'll say it again, it boggles my brain how they never somehow greenlit a Dredd TV series with Carl Urban. I've never understood it. I don't comprehend it. Out of all the shitty series that Netflix and Amazon Prime and HBO Max, out of all the crap that they waste money on, that they make some good series, yes. But out of all the crap they have made, it just like, how did you not obtain the rights to Dredd? Like, just for 1 season. Just for 8 episodes. How did you not do it? Joseph Knowles says, which movie character has the dirtiest car? That is a great question. Probably Lord Humongous in Mad Max Road Warrior. And I'll tell you why. It might not be covered in the most dirt, but it has 2 people chained to the front of it, just dripping bodily fluids. Also, Lord Humongous himself is a large, bulky dude wearing assless chaps, leather underwear, and a hockey mask, and he's also covered in baby oil. So you just know the chair that he's sitting in is all sticky and oily. You just know it's nasty. So I'm going to go with Lord Humongous's car and the Road Warrior. That is my answer to your question. Joseph Knowles also asks, yep, feels like a Batman Begins night. Yeah, I might go finish watching The Dark Knight just because I started it earlier. What else? I might watch Blowout if it's playing anywhere. If you guys want, and I'll look it up. If you guys know where to watch Blowout right now on a streaming service, let me know. Claudia Rogajon says, what would you do differently with Bane in a new movie? If it were me and I had to put Bane in the new Matt Reeves Bat universe of things, I would probably cast Dave Bautista because it's perfect casting, looks the part. Used to be an ex-wrestler. Just so many things that would perfectly suit him. Now, does he need to be completely over the top and be jacked up on Venom where he pushes a button and starts just kicking ass and gets bigger once he pushes the button and more muscular? No, but I would have Venom in it. And if you pay close attention in the Batman film, where he injects the adrenaline in his leg, Batman, in the third act of that movie. Well, it was sort of green. Now, you can say it's adrenaline, but I will just call it venom. Maybe adrenaline in that universe is like venom. And I would definitely have a character that has some kind of chemical, what's the word I'm looking for? Chemical edge, right? It makes him feel no pain. It makes him faster. It makes him stronger. But I would make it as realistic as you possibly could. So yeah, I definitely put Bane in a new Batman movie. Now, would he wear like the Lucha Libre mask? I don't think so, but I definitely have him wear a mask. At least for most of the movie. But I think that's one villain you could actually utilize again, and I think people would like to see it. You know, whenever you have a physical presence or a physical villain who can go one-on-one with Batman, I always find that the most interesting of his villains. And since you already had like the psychological villain of the Riddler, I think the next installment should be more of a physical threat. It says Blowout is streaming on Prime. Well, thank you. I will watch that shit after this live show. No, Bane needs more gravitas. Yes, he does need more gravitas. That is a good term. Claudia Rogajon says, speaking of Nicolas Cage, Snake Eyes is underrated. With Gary Sinise, I watched it once. I probably would not watch it again. I think Lord of War is the most underrated Nicolas Cage movie ever. Go watch that. Night King 01 says, have you ever eaten Wahlburgers? I don't think I have. I don't think I have. Hey, what are you doing over there? You want a hamburger or something? Noah says, been a sub for a while. You're the greatest of all time. Do you watch UFC? I don't really keep up with UFC. If there's like a cool fight, I would watch it. I don't know anything about anyone in UFC, but I do enjoy watching a fight occasionally. I'm sort of a weirdo nerd. I watch like pro wrestling, but I only watch the pay-per-views of pro wrestling, and I'm really looking forward to SummerSlam. So there you go. I like the theatricality. It's what I'm into. Legion says, would you do movie reactions? I've done reactions to movie trailers and things. What do you mean movie reactions? Explain what you're talking about. I mean, I do movie reviews, which is sort of like a reaction to the movie, but there's actually substance and thoughts and opinions. So what do you define as a movie reaction? Let me know. AJ Winslow says, John, do you have a Letterboxd? Great app. I don't. I've started one a while ago, and I just wasn't that into it. I didn't want to go through there and add everything and every movie I've ever seen, because my thing was like I should be doing that on YouTube. YouTube should be my version of Letterboxd, where like all my thoughts, all my opinions should go there. And so yeah, that's sort of why I don't have a Letterboxd. What I do want to start doing, though, is I don't know if I want to, like, I have a TikTok that I don't do much on, and I also have Instagram Reels. And the cool thing about both platforms I'd rather share like a 1 minute quick review of like a movie with my thoughts on it than just leave like a star rating on an app, So I wanted to start making more like 1 minute movie reviews for TikTok and Instagram for like every movie I see, old or new. That's what I wanted to start doing. So maybe I will. Michael Entity says, can you say, hey guys, it's John Flickinger and you're watching Michael Entity movie reviews. Yeah, let me take a drink of this though. Let me give you the good one. And scene. Hey guys, it's John Flickinger and you're watching Michael Entity movie reviews. Hope you enjoyed it. Joseph Knoll says, can you do the Tommy Lee Jones speech from The Fugitive in Dr. Phil's voice? I don't remember the speech from The Fugitive. I don't remember the speech. I'm sorry. Nor can I do a very good Dr. Phil impression. You know, sometimes when you look in a mirror and you see your reflection, what if that's not really you you're looking at? I don't know. Sounds like Mr. Garrison from South Park. Okay. SHM Design says, are you still dating Amber? Also, favorite movie of 2022. No, I'm not. Favorite movie of 2022. So maybe Top Gun and the Batman thus far, I'd say, are my top two picks. The flick picks. Ultimate Spidey 24 says, hey, Mr. John. T2 Special Edition are theatrical and the Town theatrical or extended. Which ones and why? Thank you for entertaining me in these times. Well, thank you, Ultimate Spidey 24. That's your name. I prefer the theatrical of both films, though I do enjoy some of the extra scenes in both. I feel overall, as far as the narrative goes, it just starts dragging and it feels like scenes that are tacked in there for the sake of being tacked in there. Also, they have a for the Town, they have another ending. Now, I don't know if it's technically the extended ending or it's just an alternate ending of the Town. But I definitely prefer the, actually saying that, realistically speaking, the alternate ending of the Town it feels more realistic and less like happy-go-lucky dream sequence, Tangerine, Florida. But yeah, I like the theatrical of both more. Joseph Knowles says, do you mind getting an injection or a blood test? No, I don't mind getting an. I actually over my later years, I go to the doctor all the time because I'm like a hypochondriac. So I always get blood tests for anything and everything, like once a year, just to be like, okay, I'm not dying. I'm gonna be okay. Sometimes I recently I checked my testosterone because I felt tired for like a month, but turns out it was great. So yeah, I don't mind whatsoever. Joseph Knowles says, have you watched new Russo's Netflix movie? The Gray Man? No, it's not out yet, man. Comes out the 22nd or something like that? No, I haven't watched The Gray Man yet. I want to. I haven't heard great things about it, but I do want to watch it. Night King 01 says, John, you'll have to rent Blowout on Prime. Well, I don't mind paying $3. I will do it. Yeah, I'll watch it. I'm genuinely curious. Dustin Rich says, if Batman was comfortable murdering the F out of people with his Batmobile gun in Batman v Superman, why not use a machine gun in the warehouse scene? Well, okay. Logistically, maybe he should have, but also from a tactical approach, Martha is a hostage. You can't just jump in there with a machine gun. He could kill her. He was trying to do it. He was trying to be suave and not kill people because, well, she would have been a casualty of such a thing. So I think that would be the logic behind it. But yeah, he's just murdering motherfuckers with a machine gun. So it makes no sense, doesn't it? Fulanito92 says, hey, John, decided to get a tattoo of one of my favorite anime characters a few weeks back. It's pretty painful. I totally recommend it. I was wondering if you have any ink. If not, what would you get a tattoo of and where? I probably get the Flick Pick logo across my nipples. No, honestly, when it comes to tattoos, I'm probably never get one. I'm just too picky. I'm anal retentive. I went to school for graphic design, and when it comes to like logos and designs, if I got something on my body and there was any minute imperfection on it, it would drive me utterly insane. Let alone, do I trust anyone to actually tattoo something on me? I don't. I really don't. And the other thing is, once you get I can't just have one tattoo. It's got to be symmetrical. So it's got to be even on both sides. I can't just have one over here and not one over here. So I don't know what I would get. I truly don't know what I would want a tattoo on me forever. I don't know what I would get. I can't think of anything. Like, what do I get today and I won't hate in 10 years? I don't know. But I hope you enjoy your tattoo, man. The Creature says, it was just announced today that WWE would be TV 14 rating starting next week. What is your opinion on that? As a dude who grew up in the Attitude Era of pro wrestling, when things would just go over the edge and it just blew my little eyeballs out of my head watching it as a child, it was phenomenal. It was everything I wanted. And then they went to the PG era, and it got a little too baby eyes, a little too soft, and you could just feel they were holding back at some points. And in my opinion, it was sort of handcuffing them, creatively speaking. So I'm looking forward to it. I've read about that. The fact that they can go back to TV 14 and be slightly more edgier, I think at the same time, I think TV 14, all the younger kids who watch it will continue watching it, because keep in mind, Marvel movies are PG 13. So if you can watch those, you can watch TV 14 wrestling. All right. So I think they're going to keep all the same fans, but also all the older fans who started to go away in recent years and they're like, I can't watch that shit anymore. They're going to come back because they can give you an edgier product. So I think it was the best thing they could have ever done for business. And I think it'll just make a better show. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what they do, and I hope they utilize it. Amrosito96, I think I said that right. Have you seen the Obi-Wan Kenobi fan edit movie? We talked about that earlier. I did not see the fan edit movie. There's a guy on TikTok who did it, right? Where do you find it? Did someone actually take it and upload it somewhere? Let me know if they did. I know he didn't do it, but he put it on a Google Drive, so I'm hoping someone took it and uploaded it illegally. That's what I'm hoping, because who cares? Disney has enough money. Are you a Colts fan? No, I'm not. Is that Lego Jurassic Park set behind you? No. Do you guys watch my movie reviews? Do you guys watch those? I bought the Jurassic Park toys. It's just the toys in the Jurassic Park SUV sitting back there on my desk. Good eye, though. You noticed that. And the cool thing about that little Jurassic Park SUV is little Tim is actually in the back seat of it. If you want me to get him out and put him in my mouth, I need a $10 super chat right now. I'll put him in my mouth and eat him. I'm kidding. And I'll walk around like a dinosaur. All right. Joseph Knowles says, should Jack Nicholson make a cooking show? Well, first what you're going to do is you're going to take the mashed potatoes and you're going to mash them. And then I'm going to take the little lady and you're going to take the spatula. That's my terrible Jack Nicholson impression. Flip those eggs, Sparky. Dominion was so bad I forgot what the plot was. Yeah, the plot was genetically engineered killer locusts. That was the fucking plot to the movie. Not dinosaurs. Dinosaurs don't matter. The plot to the movie is we need to make locusts that eat the crops, because if we control the crops, we control the food, and we make more money. That's the plot. Or the wannabe Steve Jobs guy in the movie could have just made iPhones. I don't know. Best movie theater experience you saw in theaters. Ooh, man. There's a lot of ups and downs. There's been a lot of great movies, but bad experiences. I'll give you one, and I believe I've shared this a few times over the years. But I remember going to see The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo on a very cold winter night. It was rainy. It was just gloomy out. And it was the latest showing of David Fincher's The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo back in 2011. And I remember just going to the latest showing at like 11:49 or something like that at night. And I was the only one in the theater. And none of my friends wanted to go see the movie. So I remember just sneaking in a whole bunch of drinks and popcorn, and I was just ready to be immersed into this dark, seedy environment. And watching that alone in the theater, just being so into the story and the way it was unraveling and the twists and the turns, it was phenomenal. It was everything I ever wanted. And I remember that to this day. So that was one of the best theater experiences. Claudio Rogajon says, you said on your podcast with Dave Bautista seems crazy. Why is that? Just curious. Dave Bautista seems crazy. I think some of the weird shit he said over the years. Hasn't he made some like weird political comments over the years that just seem bizarre? And saying that now, I don't remember. I think that day I recalled I don't remember. I think we were in a discussion about something Dave Bautista said. He said something bizarre. I don't remember what it was. Sorry, I don't remember the details for that. Which podcast episode was that? Now I want to go back and listen to it. Jesus says, do you enjoy posting on this channel more? I enjoy live streams more than anything. I like one takes. I like just going. I like interacting. I think interacting to me is the most enjoyable thing on YouTube. And I don't want to hide behind editing a video and making myself sound smarter than I really am. I like to just sit here, talk about whatever you guys want to talk about, give my thoughts on it, move on. You know, it's just pure and unadulterated. So for that, would I say live streams are my favorite thing to do on YouTube? And I just so happen to do them on this channel? Yes, I guess in the grand scheme of it, yes, I do enjoy posting here more. Now, I know some people don't want to sit around and watch a 3-hour live stream. And they'd rather just, okay, here's the topic of the video. I know what I'm getting. 5 minutes in, I'm out, I'm done. And so I do still make videos like that. But for me, I'd rather do this. You know, the only unfortunate thing about the live streams is sometimes in the middle of them, I feel like sometimes you guys have a really good question and I occasionally have a really good answer. I just wish that could be its own video. And I guess it could, you know, sometimes I take little segments of live streams and make them their own videos, but I really need to do that more often. But yeah, more or less, this channel, I can do whatever I want. And you guys forgive me, or you just accept it, right? We can talk about movies, or I can be completely weird and bizarre and batshit crazy. So this channel, the best way to describe this channel was, it was everything I wanted to do on YouTube, but it wasn't exactly the way the masses would accept it. Now, you guys accept it because you're here right now, but more or less, I wanted to talk about movies, not just sitting down in a fucking chair reviewing them with jump cuts. I wanted to have a lifestyle channel that revolved around movies. So that's why I make vlog videos. That's why we do flick trips. That's why I would do the most random things. And then for 20 minutes of a flick trip video, I wouldn't talk about movies. I would talk about something else. And then we'd go back to movies. So really it was like my life, but the backbone of it was movies. So I think I answered your question, but yes, more or less this channel gives me more freedom. And for that, I think I prefer it. Kung Fu Hot Dog has been a member for 9 months. Yay! Sexy John, watch Reacher, the Terminal List. And the Terminal List. Okay. Reacher, I probably will never get around to watching the Amazon show Reacher. The Terminal List, I don't know what that is. But I did just watch The Terminal on... Is it on Netflix? With Tom Hanks? For some odd reason, I went to San Antonio last week, and because I was in an airport, I was in the mood to watch a movie that takes place in an airport. So I watched The Terminal with Tom Hanks. Night King 01 says, Bautista is a better actor than The Rock. Agree. I think he has more range to be different characters than The Rock. Yes. Claudio Rogajon says, also, I want there to be a Craven's Last Hunt movie. I can only imagine parents explaining to to their kids what Craven does to himself at the end with the rifle. What does Craven do with the rifle? What does Craven do with the rifle? I gotta know now. Does he sodomize something? Or does he sodomize himself? I don't know where we're going with that. Terminal list has Chris Pratt a different beast. Okay. Interesting. The next one, Joseph Knowles says, which scene from Shrek made you laugh the most? Oh man, I know there's something in the original Shrek that probably makes me laugh my ass off. I know. Oh, the gingerbread man. Not my jelly bean buttons. No. Maybe the gingerbread man. Yeah. Joseph Knowles says, I love Shrek, however, I prefer the first half when Shrek and Donkey are walking and talking about onions. I could watch a whole movie with that. Oh, I love movies where just two dudes are talking. They don't need to be going anywhere. Just let them talk and hang out. Those are my favorite types of movies. That's why I like movies like Clerks so much. Or Quentin Tarantino movies. Jamin says, I listen to your live streams to help fall asleep at night. Is that weird? Thanks, by the way. No, man. I listen to podcasts all the time to help myself fall asleep. You just close your eyes and let my soothing voice take you to dreamland, baby. Yeah. No, I get it. And I thank you for that. Brian TG23 says, John, I never make your live streams. What time of day are they typically? I love the glasses. These are my Nicolas Cage glasses. I wear these because everything's too bright, and they honestly make everything look better to me. They give it a nice warm glow. Live streams typically, lately I've been starting them around like 11 or 12 Eastern time, midnight. Those are like my late night live streams. I'll probably never do them later than that. What I wanted to do is maybe start them around 9 o'clock, maybe 10 o'clock Eastern time. I think that would be best for everyone. I know some people that live overseas, there's like no time that I can do that will work for you, but that's why we save these and process them and publish them to YouTube. So you can watch the replay anytime you want. Claudia Rogajon says, Craven kills himself, hence the title, The Last Hunt. Well, I don't know. I figured that's where we were going with that, but you said what he does with a gun. I thought he was going to do something crazy. The Creature has become a member. Yay! Thanks, The Creature. Oh, and by the way, before I go, I'm going to answer just a few more questions. Like, I'll answer like 3 more questions, so no more questions. I got this in the mail. It's Men in Black, the 4K Steelbook, which is really sexy. I don't know if this is exclusive to somewhere, but it's the 25th anniversary edition. I love me some Men in Black. The second movie sucks, but I do like... I always loved this character here. Sugar Water! But yeah, I haven't seen Men in Black in a couple years. I think I'm going to rewatch this at some point. I don't know how the picture quality looks of Men in Black on 4K, so I'm kind of dying to check it out. And also, Men in Black is another great summertime movie. And I do remember seeing this in the summertime when it originally came out with my grandmother. And then we went to Walmart immediately afterwards, and I bought one of the Men in Black toys. Good times. Good times. Are you guys going to pick up Men in Black on 4K? Let me know. Joseph Knowles says, should Shrek make potato pancakes with Jason Statham? Yes. Night King 01 says, John, you have a dirty mind, my man. Dude, no. I just always assume the worst. Okay? I assume the worst. I hope for the best. And I prepare for, well, the worst. So I do. Yeah, keep my wife's name at your mouth. John, will you do YouTube forever? I don't know how we made it 12 years. So I will do it as long as I can. I'll do it as long as you guys keep watching. How's that? I'm not going anywhere. I'll do it as long as I can. The weird thing about YouTube is every year it becomes more and more accepted into the mainstream. So what happens is kids aren't watching cable TV anymore. A lot of younger kids don't even watch TV shows. They watch YouTube. Everything they do, everything they know, they get from YouTube. And I've talked to younger kids, and it's just like they don't watch cartoons. They watch YouTube. So if for anything, I think YouTube is the place to be. And I think it's only going to keep growing and growing. So, I mean, I'll say it like this. When I run out of all of my ideas, then I'll be done. But the truth is, I have notebooks and notebooks of things I've never done on YouTube that I've always wanted to do. And once I do all of them, maybe I'll be done. But I can assure you it will not be anytime soon. Claudia Rojan says, on second thought, they would never do Kraven's First Hunt as Spider-Man is buried alive having a fever dream for most of it, plus there's a cannibal in it. Then again, you can have screaming goats and make jokes about orgies in Marvel movies, so anything's possible. Nike King 1 says, Vincent D'Onofrio as a bug in Men in Black is legendary. Oh, it is. The skin suit where he pulls it back, phenomenal. John, I'm digging the glasses. Well, thank you. I love the glasses too. My nieces are like that. Yeah, a lot of young kids are like that. Like, kids don't watch SpongeBob or Ninja Turtles and shit like that. They watch YouTube, man. It's weird. And then one day what I can do is when I have kids one day, I can capitalize on them and use them as props in a family YouTube channel. And then I can like talk about toys and review toys. It'll be great. I'm not kidding. I really will do all that. John, are you following all the drama with Vince McMahon right now? Yes, I am. And in my opinion, so what? If it was consensual, then who cares? That's what I have to say about it. If it's consensual, then who cares? I mean, did you really expect there not to be some kind of dark past with Vince McMahon? With the shit that you've actually seen on TV? Could you imagine the stuff you haven't? You're fired. Annie Sanchez says, hey, John, I just got back from home after watching Thor Love and Thunder again. My girlfriend wanted to watch it. Did she like it? Did you like it? Did you want to see it again? I probably will go see it again with someone who hasn't seen it yet, but I don't want to. Isn't it going to hit Disney Plus in like 20 days anyway? Who cares? The creature says, my main entertainment nowadays are wrestling and YouTube. I hardly watch regular TV anymore. Now, I like regular TV. I don't watch regular TV, but I do watch like TV shows. I do watch a lot of YouTube, not going to lie. That or I just watch the same 50 movies over and over again. MKF30 says, more member Zooms and pickier with movies or chicks. Probably pickier with movies. More member Zooms? Yeah, we need to do another members hangout. What is today? I will do another members hangout for July, towards the end of July. How's that? So if you guys are Patreon supporters or YouTube members, and you guys have joined the Ask Anything perk, well, you're invited to a members only hangout at the end of the month. I will announce it ahead of time, so look out. John is underrated. Thank you. I'll take it. The thing is, people have said I'm underrated for many years, but the biggest detriment to myself is I'm just not consistent. That's my problem. Claudia Rogajan says most TV shows suck nowadays anyway. Yeah, but you still get great TV shows like Better Call Saul or Breaking Bad, or not Breaking Bad, or like Stranger Things. So in a weird way, TV shows are actually getting better. It's just we need more of them to fill the void. We are consumers, right? We just suck content in. We just give it to us. Blah, blah, blah. And there's just not enough to go around. I did watch the first 3 episodes of The Boys, the newest season. I have not finished it yet. Night King 01 says, excited for Walken as Emperor in Dune 2. You know, I'm the Emperor here. You want me to eat? You want a giant sandworm to eat you or something? Say hi to your mother for me. What's MKF30 says, oh, sweet dude. You rock. Yes, you're underrated and should play Johnny Cage. Thank you. I'll play Johnny Cage. As long as I can do a fatality on that shitty character named Cole, who had no point for existing. The creature says, and what's funny, after the news of Vince McMahon appeared on a few occasions on Raw and SmackDown, which I don't know why I find hilarious. Vince McMahon appeared just to say fuck you to everyone. That's why he did it. He has an ego. Andy says, Thor, Love and Thunder. It's funny, but that's what I like about Thor Ragnarok more, and my girlfriend was cracking up the whole time. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it. For me, when you have story and comedy, they need to balance each other. And for Thor, Love and Thunder, I just thought it was bad comedy and not much story. I think the Black Phone is coming out this Friday. It is indeed. Okay, a little kid just told me to hurry up and end the live stream because the grabber's coming. All right, guys, I'm going to answer just one more super chat question. I'm going to take off and let you guys go to bed or whatever you guys do late at night. Let me ask you this. As I answer this question, I have a question for you before I go. First of all, if you guys could, I would very much appreciate it. And let's stick it to the man known as YouTube and Google. Give this live stream a thumbs up. It really does help. It really does, because unless you do that, you won't get this shit in your sub box because YouTube will suppress it. So give it a like if you could. It's free, please. And also, what are you guys going to do after this live show? What are you going to go do? Are you going to go watch a movie? Are you going to go take a poop, eat a frozen pizza, or all three? Why not? SHM Design says, are you still friends with Stuckman? I think we're friends, yeah, but are we actually friends or just acquaintances? You know, I feel like we're more like acquaintances. I think acquaintances, you know, that's how I feel. DJ Crackmix says, going to sleep? Masturbate. Well, that's a good one, too. Return some videotapes. Play my PS5. Congrats on your 1L subscriber. Yay! 100,000 subscribers. Yeah, hit it a few weeks ago. Feels good. I am working on a special video that kind of recaps the existence of this channel and hitting 100,000 subscribers after a long time on this channel, which I never thought we would do. But I have someone working on a really cool montage, so I'm hoping to see that within the next week. Also, I might do a Flick Trip video where I sell a whole bunch of Blu-rays and DVDs. And by the way, I have a shit ton of DVDs, or not DVD, I have a shit ton of Blu-rays that I'm going to sell or get rid of. I will do a giveaway for some of them, but I am selling a lot of them. So if you guys are interested, let me know. We can work something out. Kung Fu Hot Dog says, shooting 2 reaction videos. Cool, man. On what? Cry myself to sleep. That is my ultimate plan. That is what I'm going to do. That'll be the last thing I do tonight. Then you wake up in a puddle of your own sorrow. Aki and G has become a member of Don't Get Scared. Yay! Thanks, man. Claudia Rogajon says, there's a clip from an interview with Chris Hemsworth literally says they sacrificed the story for jokes. I swear this was real. Can you send me that clip? Can you tweet me that clip, man? Because I think I want to talk about Thor Love and Thunder one more time at some point. But can you please tweet me that clip or DM it to me? Night King 01 says, good night, John. Well, good night to all of you guys. Good night, Neverland. And thanks for watching, guys. MKF30 says, do you watch any other movie channels like that that fat samurai guy. I don't really watch a lot of YouTube. I watch Minty reviews where he does like top 10 things you didn't know about a movie. I watch some of my buddies on YouTube occasionally, but I don't watch a lot of movie channels. I watch like everything else besides movies when it comes to YouTube because I live it and breathe it. I kind of want to watch something else. Believe it or not, I do have other hobbies and passions besides movies. So yeah, I usually watch other things. Shelby Elks is a stupid movie title. Yeah, I haven't seen the movie yet, so I don't know how much sense the title makes yet, but we'll see. I didn't buy anything on Prime Day. I bought nothing. There was nothing I needed. Thanks, man. Yeah, the black phone shirt. It's awesome. I love it. All right, last question. This is the last question. I said I was going to go 20 minutes ago, and I mean it this time. But I can't give up on you guys. I'll never give up. Mista47 says, just got a copy of Drive 2011 on 4K from Second Sight. The transfer is immaculate. I've heard it's good shit. I do need to pick that up at some point. I have a feeling maybe on Black Friday it'll be like $8. So maybe I'll get a copy of that at some point. But I've heard the transfer is good. The Blu-ray looks good, and that came out like 10 years ago. By the way, Mista47, who has been a member for 4 months. Yay! Yeah, Minty's good. I love his Australian accent. It's good stuff. And what Minty does with his videos was exactly what I wanted to do 6 years ago. I literally I wrote it out. I was looking for a guy to edit the videos. And it was going to be very similar to what Minty Reviews does. Very similar. Why are you called Flick Pick? Okay, last question. I don't care. This is the last question. My last name is Flickinger. That is, in fact, my real last name. And when I had to make a YouTube channel back in 2010, John Flickinger was taken. So nowadays you can just call your channel whatever you want, even if someone already has the channel. Back then you couldn't do it. So I was like, okay, I wanted something like Flick. I wanted something that was catchy. You could remember it. And I remember thinking like some of my friends as a nickname would call me Flick. So I was like, Flick makes sense for movies. And then I was like thinking like, I almost wanted to call it The Flick or just call the channel Flick, but those names were taken as well. So I called it The Flick Pick. Why did I call it Flick Pick? Because it just rhymes and it felt right. That's why I called it The Flick Pick. I don't know why I called it Pick though. Flick Pick. I don't know, but it's really catchy, isn't it? Like you remember that. I talked about Black Phone earlier in the live stream, so if you scroll back to the beginning, you'll see it. Really enjoyed it. Morning from Scotland. Why are more people coming in now? I think my European viewers are jumping in all of a sudden. Is Flick a Jewish name? Nice name. No, Flickinger is a very German name. Flickinger is my last name. And everyone thinks it's a fake last name. It's not. All right, guys. That is the last bedtime story. So I want all of you to have a good night and a pleasant tomorrow. But most importantly, thanks for watching, guys. Give the video a like. Just give it the like. Click it right now. I want to feel you click it. Every time you click it, I just jolt. Don't ask what's happening down below. You don't want to know. But just know I really appreciate your likes. And most importantly, I appreciate you guys just watching, hanging out. And thank you guys for the super chats. Much appreciated. It does help pay the internet bill this month. And we have one... SHM Design says, what happened between you and Stuckman? I've answered this before. No big falling out. Sometimes people grow apart. I think some people live in their own universe and are so focused on what they're doing that anything outside of their universe sort of just as a dwindling light in the distance. I think that best explains it. So no big falling out. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Have a good night for the 10th time. Thanks for the questions. Thanks for watching, guys. And I'll see you next time. Stay safe and don't let the dinosaurs bite. Bye-bye.